Netflix original series, You. Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Joyce Big, and I'll be your host for today. Before we start the program, can you just please turn to the person next to you and say, what's up with you? How are you? Are you ready? Netflix is here for you, and I am obsessed with this show. If you are also obsessed with this, can I hear a resounding amen? Amen. Anybody here who binge watched? You? Okay. My standard is myself. I finished the whole series in a day and a half. Anybody here who can beat me? Same. A day and a half? Who else? Same? Anyone shorter? A day? A day! No sleeping whatsoever, definitely. It's just one of those shows that you come in, you're like, oh, I'm gonna pace myself because it's such a good series, and then you're sitting there 8 hours after, you're like, yeah, there's my life. 8 hours just spent on you. And definitely for good reason at that too. I'd like to encourage everyone that you are allowed to tweet live, Instagram stories, Facebook, anything that you want. We just would like to remind you to please don't use flash photography and use our hashtags for today. Netflix is here for, as in the number 4, you all caps for all of your social media posts. Don't forget to tag us at YouNetflix and also at NetflixPH. Are you guys excited to meet the stars of You? A little bit louder now. Manila, are you excited to meet the stars of You? There we go. I met them already. They're riveting. They're incredible. And I'm so excited to have this conversation with you guys. Please don't forget to post it all over your social media accounts to make all of our friends even more jealous of you. Alrighty. Now we've got a video clip to show you. We hope that you guys appreciate this. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch this. Jazz is all we need. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome here on stage, giving life to the riveting characters of not Joseph, not Peaches, but Peach and Joe. Give it up for Shay Mitchell and Penn Badgley! Give it up one more time so it's not awkward while they're talking! I think they were screaming at some point and they were like, oh, my phone, I need to take a video. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
Oh, hi.
You guys are all of a sudden so quiet. The Filipinos are not known to be quiet, but now they're just kind of staring and taking Instagram videos. Did you know that the Philippines is actually the social media capital of the world?
You told us that earlier.
Yeah, I'm repeating it. So you know, pretend like you haven't heard it yet.
How many hours was it again?
4 hours on social media in a day.
That's
Just
remarkable.
Instagram.
But you know what? I think that's average for a lot of people, probably, right?
Yeah, probably so. Or the
Why are you looking at me?
No,
That's probably pretty
I
average.
spent a while on it yesterday.
Well, we're so excited to have you guys here. But of course, would you like to say hello first to all of your Filipino fans who are just excited to have you?
Yes. Hi everyone. We just tried hello.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't, but Penn did.
And it was massive. It was actually not that big.
It's bigger than both. Yeah, it was huge.
How was it? How was the halo halo? Did you enjoy
It
it?
was great. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's a lot of sugar. It's like 10 a.m. or something, but it was nice.
There's sugar in every Filipino dish. I think that's the thing that we have here. But we're off on food already. So start off. Welcome to the Philippines. It's not your first time here, Manila.
It's not my third time.
It's your third time here. Welcome back
Thank
to the
you.
Philippines. How's
Thank
it so far?
So good. I've already eaten all the food, so yeah, it's amazing.
How about you, Pen? Is it your first time here in Manila?
Yeah, very much. I've still not seen a lot of the city, but and I may not because I'll be in this hotel.
But have you at least tasted some of the Filipino food that we have?
Well, like the halo halo,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it so far. Because again, like yesterday, I was just adjusting to jet lag, and I stayed in the hotel, and I had the choice between the Filipino breakfast and the American breakfast, and I actually asked the woman on the phone. I was like, "What would you recommend? Like, which is better?" And she was like, "Oh, sir, I think I would stay with the American breakfast."
I mean, have some like longanisa, and like we'll get.
Yeah, I'm adventurous. I'll eat. I mean, I'll try. I'll try anything. once.
Okay, so that's our assignment then for the rest of the days, right? To make him try Filipino.
Yeah, I'll keep it. I'll do it. I'll definitely do it.
I'll just keep sending stuff to your room.
Yeah.
There's some fun seats.
There you go. You got it all. You've tried it everything. Okay, well, so congratulations first and foremost on the global phenomenal success of You. How does it feel to work on something as big as this now? You know, to be part of this incredible show.
It feels pretty awesome, but we just had such a great time shooting it. And for me personally, as soon as I read the script, I was like, okay, I don't care if I'm a part of this or not. I can't wait for this show to come out because it just had all the elements of what makes a really good show. And then shooting it, we had so much fun. It went by so quick. And now that everybody's able to enjoy it, it's also really exciting to get to relive it again with fans and just friends and family who are all watching. So.
It's less fun for me because I'm a murderer. Let's just be clear, right? I mean, I know it's all fun to watch, but I don't want to give any spoilers, but I kill more than 3 people, right? So we're all clear.
Exceeding expectations.
yeah, I guess so.
And what was it like the first time that you read the script, you know, and you got to see the characters and you got to see the storyline? What was it like actually doing the show and watching it come alive on screen?
Okay, I remember reading some of the scenes between Penn's character Joe and Peach and just imagining how I would play that. But honestly, being on set and getting to work with Penn, being my first time, was 10 times more fun. It was just, you know, it's funny. I'm literally having to kill him with my eyes and, you know, the funny little lines that he says. And then he literally does.
Well, we don't want to. Yeah, can we say it? I guess everybody here has seen it now. Is that like? Can we get a? No, you're like so. Not a
She's
fan.
like, not yet.
She's like, I prefer
But for the
Pretty Little
viewers who
Liars.
haven't, yeah.
Yeah. So we don't want to ruin it for people, but yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It was. Well, again, like.
I was just speaking specifically to our scene.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I loved working with Shay. I really did, and I love doing press with Shay. Because I feel we're quite different, but then we just really mix well. Like the ingredients of a Hello Hello.
Yeah. There we go.
You got it.
You know?
Yes. Mix.
Unity and diversity. When I read the script, I was quite troubled. You know, because again, like, I understood all of those elements about the show, but I was the person reading the, you know, I'm thinking, all right, I don't get to play Peach, I don't get to play Beck, I don't get to write the thing. I don't get to score the thing. I don't get to watch it. I have to be Joe, you know? Everyone else gets to watch it and enjoy it in this different way. So for me, when I read it, I was actually like, good luck, but I don't know. I don't know that I can do this for such a long period of time. You know, when you do a film, for instance, it's like 2 months, and then you don't do it again. This is, you know, it's like 6 months a year. You know, maybe we'll go on for season after season. Killing more people, and I guess that's getting less and less funny.
It's becoming real to them, and like killing
and
more
like,
people.
oh yeah, right. So you know, I think I had a lot of reservations, which is appropriate because now we can all watch something and feel somewhat responsible. But I think that's the thing is like, to the degree that everybody else is able to consume it in this way, that it is enjoyable. It's like I kind of have to take on the burden of making it somewhat real for myself, and that's just not, you know what I mean? It's like it's just a bit different. But I can appreciate the fact that it is being consumed in the way that it is.
Yeah, and a lot of people, some of your tweets actually were trending recently because of how you.
That's right. It's my first time. It's my first time going viral, Shay.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Welcome to the club, right? You should welcome him to the social media club. With a lot of people responding to Joe's character, and you know, you were so vocal about not romanticizing the character. Obviously, we get to appreciate it on a certain level, but you know, you were saying earlier, there's a certain level of adore, and then there's creepy. So how did you respond to all those conflicting, I guess, comments from a lot of your viewers, and how did you get into the character?
Well, first of all, I think we, as the people who made the show, should take responsibility because he is a charming guy, and that was obviously what they wanted. And you know, it was always a bit of it was a push and pull between me and the directors, the writers, wanting me to be charming, right? And I was always like, less so. less interested in, see, there are even things that I want to say, but I feel like they're inappropriate. But I guess if you're watching this show, it's not about spoilers, but it has to do with just like normally things you wouldn't say in an interview that have to do with, you know, such intense topics. But yeah, I think it was always a balance between making this guy real and then also he's not a real person. I was not thinking of like a clinical portrayal of a real psychopath. I was thinking sometimes of that, and then other times he's meant to represent things that are inside all of us. You know, like the internet troll. Even Joe in some ways is a little bit like the internet troll made real, which is a serial killer. Actually, you know, so that's no, but I mean really, because like the kind of things that people say on the internet, how often do people talk about? They're like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna murder." I mean, you know, even one of the tweets that I actually ended up following one of the women who I had a correspondence with. Because she had said something, and then I responded, and that one went viral. And then there were apparently people tweeting at her. There was like a guy who tweeted at her, like, maybe we should send murderers to your house just so you know the difference. And I mean, come on, like that's so the meta response to this show is quite deep. I mean, I think like if we're not careful, Joe can maybe bring out the Joe in us, or we, you know what I mean. So it's like I think I'm the person who has to always be thinking about a delicate balance of these themes. Just because I'm that guy.
You're the guy, yeah. And it's important that you actually start conversations with people who follow the show and who find it so interesting, that specific character, right? So it's good. And Shay, for you, you're a social media maven. How do you view this show in light of the work that you do on social media? I mean, you have your vlogs, you have everything, you share your life so much also. How do you see it from the perspective of someone who saw the storyline also and somebody who lives that kind of life being social media?
I mean, it's interesting because I've said this before, but there are so many people that can fall in love and become obsessed with somebody who they've never even met before. And that's the world that we live in now. You get to know all of this information that person is putting out there, you know, and making up who this person is in your mind to be this imaginary, you know, vision. And I think that I completely get it when people become fascinated with people because you feel like you get to know them with what they put out there. And I think a lot of the time, too, being on the flip side, I also have to question some things that I put out there, you know, and when I put it out and just how much of it I want people to be aware of. So it's really a fine balance and a very fine line.
Yeah, but I like also, you posted recently on your Instagram about how it's not the real world. What you're posting on your social media, it's not. But you share these things because you want to be able to inspire and encourage others and show them what's happening with the world around you, where you're being taken to.
Yeah, I think as long as you can use it in a way to know that the images that you're seeing are people's highlight reels. It's not reality.
Yeah.
You know, it's the best of that best moment of that day, you know, that's been curated and perfected and filtered a million times. If you can go into it knowing that, then you can use it appropriately.
Yeah. And do you think that it's, you know, that plays a lot with why people love this show so much, right? Maybe because they can actually see the real world kind of going in that social media makes you so close to someone in that way.
I mean, I feel like previous shows kind of touched on using technology and social media a little bit, but when I read the script, I was like, wow, this show is really using what's available. These social media platforms, it's really using it and showing, you know, just how we all use it today. It touched on a lot.
Yeah, we all use social media like Joe, right?
I mean, not like that,
no,
you know what I mean.
No, you're right. I mean, actually, I think what Joe is doing is in a way quite normal. That's the most disturbing part. He really isn't doing anything that's super high tech. He's just like, I'm actually doing this. I'm creeping on people, and so what's the difference between creeping on them in real life? I think in a way, Joe is like, I'm courageous. Everyone else is doing this behind closed doors on their phone, but I'll do it in real life because I'm brave. I'm a man. You know. So his logic is interesting. I think Joe reveals the the unsettling logic that actually a lot of us are following. In the worst way in social media, but then I think in the best way, it is a tool, and there's nothing inherently wrong about that tool at all. I think, in fact, I really admire people like Shay who have an authentic relationship with it, where it's like fluid. See, me, when I try to do something on social media, it's pathetic. It's
very cute. I wouldn't say pathetic. It was cute. You didn't know how to post a story.
But I think about it too much, and therefore when I do use it, it actually lacks that authenticity, that fluidity that I think a lot of like extra young people, we call them Gen Z, is that right now? Yeah, but we're millennials. We're all millennials. I'm talking about people who are like 15 to like 25 now. I'm in my 30s. Let's be clear. But I actually really appreciate people who have this sort of totally like just second nature relationship to it. Because then I think you're able to. That's when you do have something meaningful and substantive to post. Then I think it really comes through and people appreciate it all the more.
Whole conversation.
Yeah, Cardi B is a great example of that. Like, she has such an authentic relationship, and I mean, it's like, and she's not. To me, it's like it's this incredibly nuanced place to be, and despite what many might judge as antics and all this, I mean, I feel like she has an incredibly authentic relationship to that, and that's why people like her so much.
And that's why it's so interesting to watch and follow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk more about your characters, Peach and Joe. I fell in love with this series. I was just telling everyone that I finished the whole thing in a day and a half, and I have a morning show, and I ended up sleeping for like an hour just so I could finish this. It's it's actually, I hope that's a good, oh no,
Yeah.
it's a good thing. But I asked a couple of my friends yesterday if they had any questions that they'd want for me to ask you guys. And one of the things that kept coming up was, what were the things that you like and dislike about your characters?
Well, that's easy, everything. Dislike everything except that he's curious, and that's not bad alone, but that's not all he is, so.
Certainly.
About Peach, I mean, I do love the fact that she loved and cared for her friend. I just wish it wasn't that much,
I think Peach in a way is kind of the best person on the show. She really is, because she sees Joe for who he is.
Oh,
she does. Yeah. And she does love Beck. Yeah, I mean, she's being possessive and manipulative, but in that world, it's kind of the least. I think she sees things clearly. She knows what she wants. She's goes
very
for
honest.
It. She's extremely honest.
True.
I mean, this idea that like somehow Joe and Peach are on the same level, I think it's just.
You don't
agree?
agree?
They both sort of had an obsession for Beck, right?
Yeah.
You took yours a little further, but who's to
A
say
little.
that Peach wouldn't get there?
I think.
Very facetious.
Yeah, so I mean, you're right. I loved the head-to-head nature of the relationship once it gets there. I mean, you do. Can I say like what? She points a gun at me, which is just.
I was ready. She was ready.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I would have to say that I really did enjoy playing her truthfulness. As brass as it was, she was very honest, and so I can admire that element to her. I just don't love so much the controlling aspect of her and on her friendship,
I get that. And in this series, you guys kind of argue a lot. Like there was never a part of the show where I actually saw you actually like each other. No, not Peach and Joe at least, right? Yeah. So if you were going to describe to a person who hasn't watched the Netflix series You yet, how would you describe Joe's character and how would you describe Peach's character?
Like how would Joe describe Peach's character, or how would I describe Peach's character?
How would Penn describe Peach's character?
A caring, doting friend. And let's see. I'm inclined at this point, like I said, to actually see the best in the other characters, because what I'm concerned about is everyone liking Joe so much and being like, shipping Joe and therefore kind of dismissing all of the other characters good qualities and only seeing the bad, because that's what Joe does. So I think Peach, again, I think she's quite sensitive. I think she's longing for human connection. She's strong. She's extremely strong. She's extremely smart. She's successful. She's almost like a detective, actually. She's able to figure out a lot, yeah. And then she looks like Shay Mitchell, so that's not bad.
I would say with Joe, this is what I always ask my friends, because, when they're all like, is it bad that I find it attractive? I'm like, no, because you're looking at this, so yes. If it wasn't that case, you'd find it very creepy, also, remember that. But I would say that Joe is a psychopath. I mean, he is. And I have to be honest, because I have to really, defend that side of him, because so many people are falling in love, and I'm like, wait, what? Are we watching the same show? Now, look, I know that he has a lot of likable characteristics to him, but you can't have the rest of it not be seen, he kills people.
Yeah, but I also think that real people who do have this psychological profile, people who are really capable of stuff like this, they often can be quite charming, and if they're attractive, then there's that, I mean, I think that's definitely part of what we're trying to think about in this show. How far are we willing to go to forgive an evil white man? Quite far, apparently. It's very far.
And I think it also kind of speaks about how social media works these days, where we pick out the ones that we want to see, that we like about something, like Joe's character, and we tend to focus on that and kind of blur out every other psychopathic thing that there is in the character, right? But obviously also because he looks like that, so it makes it easier for people to fall in love. But for both your characters, was it...
Charles Manson was quite handsome, as far as I understand, wasn't he? No, I'm serious. I mean,
he had a lot of love letters sent to him.
Yeah. So Anyway.
Okay. For both your characters, was it hard getting to character for Peach? Because a lot of people love Peach's character.
I really want to say it was hard, because she is such a interesting girl. But it wasn't, because the writing on our show, I think, was so incredible. It was so funny, her lines. And I've played such a nice, sweet character for so many years that to be able to play on the other side, I get it. I enjoy why people like playing the bad girl, It is fun. And just to have that sort of back and forth with Penn's character, it was hilarious. So I really enjoyed playing her.
What was this transition like? As you mentioned, you had this a sweet character for the longest time, and then all of a sudden you transition into something a little bit more complicated, as with Peach's character. Because there are a lot of things that are likable about her, like you fall in love with Peach's character, and then there are moments throughout the series where you're just like, I can't believe Beck's friends with her.
I know.
Yeah.
And then she pulls you back in, and that's the element of being that queen bee of the group that I dealt with, and even the show that I was in before, So it's you're kind of like Joe's territory, where you have to have these likable characteristics because you want to have a fan group around you, with the friends, but then you're also sort of a nasty one. I mean, it wasn't really that hard to play into, because I've grown up with people like that, So there were girls in high school that I kind of played off with them a little bit too, and yeah, it was fun.
I think I loved Peach's character because of the way that she cared for her friends, as Penn mentioned. The way that she carried herself, with so much grit and so much passion and confidence. Yeah, she was so beautiful. And
she was willing to give it all up.
Yes.
Correct. She's willing to give it all. She was so romantic, if you think about it. I mean, there was some other stuff in there, there's Raj and all that. But, what do they call it? See, the thing, I want to make references to things in the show, but that means that I'd be taught. It's not about spoilers. It's it's inappropriate. I don't know that I wouldn't normally be able to stand on stage and talk about sex toys and have I mentioned murder?
Killing people, yes. You might want to remind us.
Sorry.
No, but Penn, other people actually also. I especially love the dialogue. How you would annotate some of the stuff that's going on screen. And fans are asking if you actually went for a vocal coaching for everything.
No. I mean, I've always...
That's his voice.
I've always been able to do this. No, but it was really fun. It was really fun. Actually, most of my lines are in my head. Most days when I was on set, actually, I wouldn't have to memorize any lines. I would just have to do them later. And that was quite interesting. Yeah, so but you know what? I started when I was a child. When I was like 9 or 10 years old, I started in voiceovers. I worked at a radio station.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I was in
There we go.
I was in 2 Nintendo 64 video games. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, so it makes
See that?
sense.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
And Mario Tennis and Mario Golf.
See, so I feel like even if Penn says something as like, I like eating cotton candies, in the Joe voice, please, just indulge us. Okay. Like, think of the fluffiest sentence that you can think of, and say it in your Joe voice.
I wouldn't ordinarily eat such a confectionery treat, but you are so like a cloud, like a blue puff. So delectable, okay. So I don't know. You gotta. I'm an actor. I'm not a writer.
Give it up for Penn Badgley. And Shay Mitchell too. Now, before we wrap it up, I have been tasked with the most important duty of the day, which is to teach you a Tagalog word, Tagalog phrase rather, to...
I only know the bad ones. Literally, my mom was like, all those words you ever heard me say in the house, do not repeat them when you go there. I was like, okay.
So Shay was asking earlier, do you want us to speak in the... the Netflix people were saying, do you want to speak in Filipino? And she was like, do you want me to speak in Filipino? Are you sure? Okay, so what shall we teach Shay and Penn? What do you guys want? Mahal kita? Mahal ko kayo? Maraming salamat? Chorba. Okay, so Filipino slang? No. Okay, we're gonna teach you mahal namin kayo. Mahal namin kayo. That's we love you.
What's the second word?
Namin. Yes.
Mahal
Kayo.
namin kayo.
You got it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mahal namin kayo. And then what's the birthday? Head.
Huh?
This thing. What was it?
Well, that's not here.
Oh,
That's
all right. Okay. Cool.
Oh, okay. No. So apart from mahal namin kayo, we also have taught them. This is Filipino culture right here that we've stolen from elsewhere. The Korean heart.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I thought it was
Yeah.
Korean, but it's also.
Does it matter what hand?
It doesn't really matter as long as you
This
make
is
it
the cutest
tiny.
thing I've ever seen in my life. The tiniest little bug.
Okay, so we gotta rehearse this, right? You
Mahal
take
namin kayo.
mahal namin kayo. You take the tiny heart and then you give it to the people. Mahal namin kayo. Are you ready? Are you guys ready?
Are
The
you
phones are
ready?
ready.
Get your phones ready.
Joe Goldberg is here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Mahal namin kayo.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up once again for Penn Badgley and Shay Mitchell, everybody. Give it up, and now we'd like to request all of the photographers to please do stay where you are seated. We're gonna do the photo op now.
Cool. Yes. I got a question.
Yes, no more questions, but before we go, do you have any message to your Filipino fans, especially your Filipino fans who have loved and binge-watched you?
I mean, thank you guys for being so supportive and loving our show and welcoming us and me again into your beautiful country. Thank you.
Everything she said, except this is my first time
This
here.
is the first
So
time.
thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Penn and Shay, everybody, don't forget to catch them as Joe and Peach on the Netflix original series of You. Please don't forget to use our hashtag for today. Netflix is here for you.
Hi. Hello. Can I please get the professional photographers? You can now come up to the front here. I understand that some of the rest of you may also want to get a photo from the front. You can do that afterwards if you can remain seated for now, please. All right. All right. All right, gorgeous. Thank you. And now can we just get Penn and Shay together? Thank you.
Thank you.
Now can we have Shay